Thunderball.
Yeah.
What did you make of that?
I thought, yeah, probably one of the better movies so far. I actually quite liked James Bond as a character in this one.
Oh, really?
Probably second best to like the first appearance of Bond when he was quite brooding and yeah, a little more kind of reserved. But I mean, obviously still rapey in points and like super uncomfortable. But like I thought like that aside, you know, probably the best Bond I've seen.
I don't think the rapiness is necessarily going to disappear.
Yeah, well, it wasn't as bad as the last one at least, hey, which was seemed like every 10 minutes he was doing something like, you know,
yeah, there was that scene in the kind of spa resort.
Yeah, when he kind of traps the woman and then she falls for him in the next scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, yeah, but I mean, like that aside, which is a big aside. Yeah, I felt like this one was like him as a character kind of a little better.
So, this one had quite a bigger budget than the ones we've watched before.
Yeah.
That show. Yeah,
I think it did, and then also I felt like, yeah, well, I'll say that after, but yeah, definitely, especially the finale, hey, like the underwater scene, and going to this epic shootout on boats, and you can just see from like the props that they had as well, you know, like the planes and the boats that they were using, yeah, and then underwater like filming, I imagine that was pretty expensive in the mid-60s, which kind of like afterwards I was thinking, you know, like we were talking how it's kind of gimmicky, but at the time it probably wasn't. It was like, you know, cutting edge, and it kind of makes me think that like in 50 years time people are gonna watch movies from, you know, like the mid, like, well, probably the early 2010s and be like, why were they so obsessed with like HD slow motion in movies? You know, it's gonna be like, you know, I think it's something like that. But yeah, you could definitely tell the production was
yeah. I thought some of the sets were noticeably grander. I thought, like, for example, the scene set in Whitehall, where they were getting briefed, it looked like a massive hall.
Yeah.
And we didn't really see that before. It was all just Bond would go into M's office and a tiny little office and have a chat. Kind of.
And even the kind of like technology, so like, you know, like the clocks, the way they flipped, and like the maps and everything, they just were like better. Produced than the earlier ones, which kind of look like a Blue Peter set sometimes, you know. Like, yeah, you can. It was just the attention to detail was there, right? So,
yeah. What did you make of the opening scene? Again, it was one that had nothing to do with the plot.
Yeah. I guess they're kind of like little episodes before the movie gets going, get you warmed up, eh? Like kind of. Get you focused. Get you. Yeah. Yeah, it was cool. I mean. Yeah, it was actually not as good as the first time that happened, which was the second movie, hey, when it was in the maze and stuff. That was a better one. This one was kind of a little more straight up. But yeah, I mean it's fine. I guess that's a mainstay in the series now, perhaps, eh?
But. And Q normally gives. So far, we've seen Q give Bond gadgets before he's gone into the field.
Yeah.
This time, Q suddenly appeared as part of the action. Was that a little bit weird? Do you get the feeling that they're trying to kind of hone what the franchise is?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Like they're, and you know, and he gets his official mission halfway through, which I guess kind of comes onto like the broader question of like writing, and I just felt like it was a little convoluted, and the movie went on for a little too long. Like, you know, there were parts where I was kind of, you know, like, I was kind of switching off almost. Yeah, I guess like, you know, you said it was supposed to be the first one and what have you, but it seemed like there was just too much going on. The casting was a bit like problematic as well. Like, you know, a lot of people looked the same to me, like especially the female characters. They were all kind of dressed similar in that, and it kind of, I was like, who's this person again? There was just too many characters. Yeah.
I've always felt like it drags, that film. Always felt like it's a little bit too long. In fact, it's 2 hours.
It doesn't need to be.
It's just slow.
Yeah.
Really. I think the underwater scenes don't help because they can't be speeded up. Or maybe you do them differently now. and maybe you're right. Maybe it is part of at the time to have cameras going underwater and filming an action movie. It's not really been done before.
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't feel slow. Maybe it just felt exciting.
Yeah.
To see that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's different, hey. So like that is kind of cool, and you'll use that. But yeah, it did go on too much, way too long. And yeah, the story just, I was kind of dipping in and out of it almost at points. Whereas like before, I always knew what was going on, and like almost needed a recap sometimes in the movie.
Some of it is a bit complicated, I think.
Yeah.
And also some of it seems to be just based on happenstance that, the stuff going on at the shrublands, whatever that is, the spa type place, seems to involve characters who we're going to need to know about later in the plot. It's just chance that Bond is there at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just like, what are the chances of that?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Really.
Yeah, it's kind of like lazy writing coupled with like someone who's just trying to put too much in. I felt like it's...
Yeah, this is the first film which was designed to be a movie plot.
Right.
And later films we'll see that they use maybe the title of an Ian Fleming novel, but actually they've come up with something completely new and nothing connected to the title at all.
Right.
And maybe that's a good thing. I mean, it's problematic because you're not necessarily following some source material.
See, it's kind of like funny that you say that, because that, out of all the movies, that's probably the one I would say would represent a book story more than a movie.
Really?
Well, yeah, it just like there was just so much going on, like to me, like that isn't a recipe for a good action movie. I mean, what was it trying to be really, a spy movie or an action movie? It was trying to be both, I think. But yeah, to me that seems like it's kind of been taken from a book and someone hasn't realised what to cut out and streamline, into a movie, whereas the other ones actually felt like movies. It's
right,
kind of
that's, like, I mean, having read all the novels, like, Ian Fleming's work is, like, some of it is really hard to imagine on the screen.
Right.
And this was deliberately created because of that.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting that it doesn't necessarily come across that way.
Yeah, I mean, for me it's a swing and a miss, but like, but I don't think it's the worst Bond movie we've watched so far. Like,
okay, well,
yeah,
where does this fit? Do you remember? Can you?
I probably would have. I probably would. I probably would put it third out of four. So, like, but yeah.
So you're putting Goldfinger last at the moment, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Dr. No and From Russia with Love are vying for first then, so what's...
Yeah, I'd say like with Russia From Love is first.
From Russia with
but
Love,
like
yeah.
Dr. No, like Bond in Dr. No is my favourite. Like Bond, yeah, definitely. But then this is third, but then my second best representation of Bond.
Right.
Like, I like the character being played.
Do you think that the one-liners came across a little bit better in this film?
Well, they're kind of like, like kind of jarring dad jokes at the beginning, or what now I guess we dad jokes. Yeah, I felt like they're a little toned down compared to last time.
They felt a little bit more like they fitted in a bit, rather than just
less forced.
being obvious.
Yeah, definitely.
You felt?
Yeah, but then I guess the movie's so long you can spread them out as well, hey? Like, perhaps they were the same amount as in the last movie.
The movie just felt long. It wasn't, it's
it
not
did.
a particularly long movie.
Yeah, it just felt long, yeah, definitely.
Cool, so we've got just a few more to go.
Yeah.
20 or so.
20 left, I think.
Yeah. Well, they'll have made a new one by the time we're done.
Oh, so we have to go to the movies to see the new one.
Yeah, that would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, that's good.
Cool.
Next one is You Only Live Twice.
You Live Twice. I know that title.